but he just makes the call. He does not raise. Now a king comes off. It gives Dan 2 pair, but as you can see, it gives Doc Sands a flush. So there you see the chip count. David Doc Sands out in front, a little over 1.8 million. Jim Courtney in second with 1.3. That's what they're playing for. The winner going to take home over $1 million. The guys that finish in fourth and fifth, however, get 0 zippity-doo-dah.
All right, to the felt we go. Andy's at 3,000, blinds at 12 and 24. Couple folds around to the real estate man. 68-year-old Jim Courtney not going to play.
So it's a battle of the blinds here. Steve Silverman, youngest player at the table, 24-year-old pro out of Rockville, Maryland. He's going to limp in and call in a small blind.
And Dan Perper, who's an equity options trader out of Highland Park, Illinois. He's also content to see a flop with a 7-6. Look at this flop, 3 of a kind there for Steven, and he's going to check it.
Well, just a beautiful flop for Steven, but an 8 on the turn. This gives Daniel Perper a straight. Can you believe it? Steve Silverman thought he was slow playing, and now he could be put in the ringer and out to dry.
Silverman's going to bet 40,000. Perper can't believe his luck, hitting the straight on the turn. He's going to re-raise. Goes to 100,000.
Well, the slow playing on the flop has stalled now. It is bet and raised here, and Steve Silverman just can't believe that 3 5s are beat in this spot. He knows his opponent doesn't have 2 9s in the hole or 2 8s in the hole. He'd raise pre-flop.
Well, he's going to make this call. I hope his hand gets better, and it does as an 8 hits on the river. Full house for Steven.
Well, he is reaching for some chips. He's still not overly confident, though. He's a little fearful his opponent could possibly have 8s full, but now he knows he's got the best hand when his opponent goes into the deep side. And now he's saying, please call me.
Yep, 115,000. Sometimes those deep size, the guy puts on a Hollywood act and he raises you, but not the case this time. Dan Perper with a curiosity call.
And you see Daniel shaking his head there in sadness. He's saying, what happened here? I had a straight on the turn and got beat on the river. The equity options trader got optioned right out of that pot.
Yeah, good things for Steven Silverman.
Tired of sitting down at a poker table filled with pros? Then come to WPT Global, the online home of the World Poker Tour. With a maximum of 2 pros at each table, everyone has a chance to win. We are leveling the playing field at WPT Global. Simply click the sign up link in the upper right-hand corner. Sign up with bonus code YT36 and we'll match your first deposit, dollar for dollar.
Silverman going out, and now Dan Perper will release that hand. Doc Sands, second time at the WPT final table, looks down at a king, 3 of diamonds. Gonna move it up to 50,000 to go. And look at this, Joseph Cheong behind him with a pair of ducks. He is just gonna call. Jim Courtney has 10s, it's the real hand. But he's just gonna call.
Wow. Most people would have 3-bet right there for sure. Jim Courtney opted just to call. So we got 3-way action. Here's the flop, queen, 9, 6. Action on Joseph Cheong.
Hitting nothing there with the deuces, but he's gonna come out with a bet. It appears 85,000.
Brazen poker by Cheong, leading out to 2 players with that hand.
Jim is gonna call. Doc Sands quickly ejects his hand. Ace on the turn. That's gonna scare off both players there. Cheong's gonna check, and Courtney's gonna bet.
Doesn't look like it's scaring off Jim Courtney. He's all of a sudden proud of his 2 10s.
Yeah, he's gonna bet 125,000.
Pretty bold bet by him here, I think. Now Joseph Cheong trying to figure out what he's got. And he's gonna call here, Vince. I think he's putting him on a 10-jack or a 7-8. Thinks he's got a straight draw. His deuces might be good.
And the river comes up a 9. Pairing the board. Cheong gonna check again.
And it goes check, check. Jim turns up the 10s. He's gonna win the pot with him. So the 68-year-old amateur taking it to the pros right now.
There's my rail.
Jim Courtney, the real estate man.
Been playing poker over 50 years, he said, and he just loves playing against the best.
Right. right, the antes are going up to 4,000. Blinds are 15 and 30. Quick fold by Jim Courtney. And now Stephen Silverman with an ace-4. Stephen out of Rockville, Maryland, only 24 years old.
He recently won the EPT High Rollers event in Monte Carlo. Steve said he likes the high rollers because he likes to play against small fields.
He's going to call it Dan Perper out. And Doc Sands looking down at a king-jack. Perhaps he's going to bully this pot. Nope, just calling. And Joseph Cheong with an 8-4 will stick around as well.
Well, he's happy to see a free flop. Three-way action. Now flop comes 8-7-6. Joseph out in front with top pair and the gut shot straight draw.
David Sands with a quick check. Joseph Cheong, who is a season 9, wants to watch, has top pair, and he's going to bet it, 48,000. Silverman with none of that.
Well, Silverman almost drawing dead here. To win the pot, needs to catch an ace as the cards lie. Look at this, Vince. He is raising here with no hand.
Doc Sands going away.
Just making a move on Joseph Cheong here. Now Joseph faced with a tough decision as to what to do, and he's going to lay it down. So what a play by Steve Silverman there, just to take the pot away from Joseph Cheong. And that's not easy to do.
Beautifully done by Steven Silverman. Boy, gets a lot of respect with that raise.
And he gets a lot of respect, Vince, because he doesn't make that many raises.
Yeah.
And when he does, as you said, he gets respect.
All right, right back down on it. Who will become the next WPT Poker-Made millionaire? Dan Perper would love to have that distinction. He goes out. Doc Sands also out.
Right to Joseph Cheong on the button. He looks down at a 10-8. Makes it 60,000 to go, the minimum raise. Jim Courtney now with the small pair here.
Yep, he's going to make the call with the threes. And now Stephen Silverman with an ace-jack.
How much do you have, Joe? 600. I like to think about the game from like a theoretical approach, and I just try to play my hand in the best way possible to maximize long-term profit.
Well, that could be done right here with a squeeze play, and that is what he's doing. He is going to raise it up by the big blind to 210,000. So Joseph is out.
And Courtney now with the threes. Cannot compete, folds the hand.
Vince, you just wondered what would have happened had Jim Courtney 3-bet there before the flop against Joseph Cheong. I'm not sure that Steve Silverman would have played the ace-jack then. And Courtney would have won the pot rather than lost it.
There's Chino Ream, WPT champion, watching the play here tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Submitted 1,000 the big.
Action going to Doc Sands, who picks up a nice ace-10.
Well, he's under the gun, first to act, but still, in a 5-handed poker game, you're going to play this hand most of the time. He does it, raises it to 80,000.
Into Joseph Cheong, who he's got the threes this time.
Well, he's most likely going to play them different. And Jim Courtney just played his 2 threes.
Well,
Yeah, he's going to push all in.
Yep. He is shipping it with the small pair.
Yeah, he's been whittled away tonight, and now he's pushing with the short stack.
Jim and Steve go out.
What's the
Daniel
total?
out as well.
565.
Doc says, how much more do I want to keep investing?
Well, he's asking because he's calculating pot odds versus what it cost him to play. 730 in the pot, cost him 485 to make the call.
He's got chips in his hand. Will he do it?
Well, anytime you're getting 2-1, you can about call with any ace in your hand.
Makes the call, and we are racing.
Well, it's a good call in terms of getting the right price to make the call because it's a race situation.
So Joseph Cheong, who studied math and psychology at UC San Diego, a big star in the poker world, on the ropes, but a good flop for Joseph Cheong as a Jack 9-5 appears.
As you can see, Joseph maintaining his poker face. He knows he gets 0 if it goes out next. If he wins this pot and doubles up, he'll have a shot to win this title.
Turn cards, another Jack.
Added a ton of outs there.
Joseph smiling.
And he's smiling and says because it gives more outs to Doc. If a 9 or a 5 comes up, he can win, as well as an ace or a 10.
Down to the river we go. Joe's going to do it as a deuce of spades appears on the river. Joseph Cheong with a measly pair of threes will double up.
Tired of sitting down at a poker table filled with pros? Then come the WPT Global, the online home of the World Poker Tour. With a maximum of 2 pros at each table, everyone has a chance to win. We are leveling the playing field at WPT Global. Simply click the sign up link in the upper right hand corner. Sign up with bonus code YT36 and we'll match your first deposit, dollar for dollar.
Here we go, Steven Silverman. First to act. The 24-year-old's picking up a lot of momentum right now.
Yep, he's the youngest player at the table. Limps in with the 10-8 of clubs.
Right behind him, Dan Perper with an attractive king-queen of hearts.
I'm all in.
And he's going to ship it right here, being on the short stack.
Like he should, he has shipped it, and David Sands with a pair of jacks behind him.
Well, what David is contemplating, does he just call here and perhaps allow the first limper back in, or does he just go ahead and raise himself?
All in.
If he's
No.
going all in himself,
He should, too.
that eliminates all the hangers on.
And Silverman's not that strong, so he folds the hand. So we have a showdown. Dan Perper, the equities option trader, on the ropes here tonight against Doc Sands.
Well, he's happy to see the hand he's up against, Vince, because he's in a race.
Wow, 2 hearts, just like that, 9-6, 3.
Well, a flush draw for Daniel. He needs a king, a queen, or a heart now.
Here we go to the turn.
And
It
a
is
heart.
Oh, boy.
Well, Daniel is going to double up right here.
Dan Perper gets the heart, outdraws Doc Sands. Oh, wow, 7 of spades on the river. Just doesn't matter.
So Daniel Perper will not leave this table, Vince.
Action's going to Dan Perper.
Yeah,
Quite a
finished
player.
4th in this tournament a year ago. He's back with 5 left.
Little suited connector, 7-8 of diamonds. But look at that, he's going to fold it. Kind of surprising. Now David Sands behind him with a queen, 6 of diamonds.
Doc reaching for chicks. Methodically bets, as he always does. I've told you, I love the way this guy plays poker. I hate how he plays, which is slow.
Well, he has made it 80,000. A quick call by Joseph Cheong with ace-10. Jim Courtney going out. And Steven also folding, so we have two-way action. Ace-10 versus queen-6. Flop comes up king, queen, 10, all hearts.
Well, these are the 2 biggest names fighting it out for this title at this final table. Doc checks that flop.
Yeah.
Joseph checks right behind him. Both players afraid of all the potential of that royal flush flop.
They both have a piece of it. 3 of spades on the turn. Doc Sands with queens.
You're scared of the flush out there. You're scared of the straight. You're scared of the overcard.
Just plain scared all around.
Well, but if you're Doc Sands, you say, you know, this guy didn't bet on the flop. I think my queens are the best hand. I'm going to bet here.
There's the bet. Looks like 140. Joseph Cheong with an annoying call if you're Doc Sands. We're going to the river.
9 of hearts comes off, so 4 cards straight flush on the board. Neither player going to be happy to see that one. Well, Doc is going to check his queens.
Joe contemplating a bet, but no, he slows down, chickens out.
Doc Sands going to take down that pot.
And he's got to love getting by with that.
Well, as you can see, Doc Sands has great confidence in himself, and why not? He has respected poker players around the world. The guy is just sensational and playing great tonight.
All right, action going to Dan Perper, the 38-year-old out of Illinois, a family man, equities trader, folds the hand.
And Doc looks down at the 4-3 offsuit. He goes out as well, and Joseph Cheong is not going out with an ace-8.
80.
I can assure you.
Yep, he's going to raise to 80,000. Jim Courtney going to take a breather. And now Steven Silverman picks up a pair of 5s.
About 980.
980.
I think so.
Silverman went to the University of Maryland. He's been playing very shrewdly tonight so far. He's got the 5s. He's been raised.
All in.
He's going to push all in.
He sure is. That is going to put unbelievable pressure on Joseph Cheong with an ace-8 offsuit. Steven has him covered in chips, so Joseph knows if he plays this pot and loses it, he's out with 0 money.
Call.
But he's going to make this call.
Wow. So we've got a race, and folks, this could literally be $1 million race for real money. Whoever wins it will be the chip leader at the final table. If Joseph loses this pot, he'll be out in 5th place. Remember, folks, nothing for 5th and 4th place, $1 million to the winner.
You can't just have ace 4 suited.
You can't just have 4s? I was thinking, I was like, this could be a tough spot for 4s.
Yeah.
Here we go with the flop. It's a Jack 7-3.
So far, so good for Steven. Jack 7-3. Joseph needs some help.
Oh,
An
that's
ace!
it.
He caught an ace on the turn.
Incredible.
Steven Silverman is going to have to catch a 5 to win this pot.
And they'll be chopped in half if he doesn't connect.
It's an 8. So ace is an 8's a dead man's hand. That's, I got to tell you, there's not many players in the world that would make that call in that spot with an ace 8 offsuit.
I figured it out.
Joseph Cheong, the new chip leader.
Tired of sitting down at a poker table filled with pros? Then come the WPT Global, the online home of the World Poker Tour. With a maximum of 2 pros at each table, everyone has a chance to win. We are leveling the playing field at WPT Global. Simply click the sign up link in the upper right-hand corner. Sign up with bonus code YT36 and we'll match your first deposit, dollar for dollar.
Players remain. To the felt we go. David Sands with a 9-8. Nothing to write home about, but don't tell that to Doc because he's going to bet it.
Well, he's an aggressive young player.
Makes it 80,000. Joseph out, and now Jim Courtney wakes up with King Queen. He's the real estate man from Detroit, 68 years old, making the call.
Just make the call.
Steven out. Dan Perper also out.
All right.
That'd be for you, Doc.
So we have King Queen up against 9-8. Man in his 20s, man in his 60s, going after it.
Well, Jim Courtney has him covered. Well, it comes King 8-6. Jim has top pair. Doc has middle pair and checks. And a quick bet by Jim Courtney. A snap bet. Let's see if Doc Sands can pick up on that. Was it a quick bluff bet, or does he really have kings?
It's $100,000 worth. But Doc likes his pair.
He makes the call.
And we are going to the turn. It is a 10 of spades.
And this gives Doc a straight draw to go along with his 2 8s.
Yep. Doc checks again. And Jim Courtney's going to bet 150 this time.
Well, Doc's stack is getting whittled down here. He makes the call, so we're going to the river.
Yes, we are. What will it be? It's a deuce of clubs. No help to either player.
That's a beautiful card for Jim Courtney, I can tell you. No straights,
Oh,
no
boy.
flushes.
Could have put in a value bet there, but did not. But he will take the pot just as well.
So the amateur getting the best of the pro yet again. Jim Courtney loving the moment right now.
Yeah, I am surprised he didn't put in a value bet there. You got your kings with a higher kicker. Man never came back at you. An irrelevant deuce on the river. You gotta get paid off in those situations. That's a value bet opportunity just wasted.
All right, action on Joseph Cheong. Looks at the 10-8 offsuit and folds.
Now our chip leader, the real estate man. No, he won't play that. Steven out, and now Dan Perper. He's got king 8 of diamonds in the small blind.
That's the battle of blinds. Got Doc's hands in the big blind.
And he is going to pop it. Yep, makes it 90,000 to go. Doc Sands, let's take a look at his hand.
Yeah, Doc's got the 9-8. It cost him 50,000 more to call, but 155,000 in the pot, so thinks he's getting priced in, and he makes the call.
All right, the flop is 8-4-3, all clubs.
Oh boy, we could see some fireworks here. Both players have top pair. Dan's got him out kicked, but as you can see, Doc has a flush draw.
Dan has checked.
Well, I'm surprised Dan checked that hand after raising before the flop and then hitting top pair, but he did. Maybe to check raise right here.
Yeah, because Doc has made the bet, 85,000.
Oh, man, I don't know why you would raise before the flop, hit top pair, and check if you weren't going to check raise the flop. But he just makes the call. He does not raise. Now a king comes off. It gives Dan two pair, but as you can see, it gives Doc Sands a flush. Dan goes check, check.
Wow.
Well, 5 of clubs comes off, so 5 clubs on the board. Now that killed the kings and eights that Dan had. He's playing the board, which is a flush, but because Doc checked on the turn, he doesn't think Doc has a club in his hand. He thinks if he bets here, maybe he can take this pot away from Doc. And that's what he's doing, Vince.
Yes, he is. 145. But this is callable.
Well, it's definitely callable, Vince. There's 520,000 in the pot. Going to cost him 145,000 to make the call. Doc has got to recognize the guy doesn't have the ace of clubs. He would have check raised him on the flop for sure if he had that card.
Unless he's playing it very sneaky, and Doc is going to give him extra respect and makes the fold.
That surprised me, Vince.
Me too.
I mean, physically, you have to put the guy, I think, on queen, jack, or 10 of clubs in his hand exactly to lay that hand down. Yes, I believe Doc Sands has actually coached Dan Perper, helped him improve his game a little.
You have to say the pupil just gave a little lesson to the teacher right there. Nicely done. There's Scotty Wynn, a great poker champion, sitting at the Royal Flush Girls Social Bar. Back down to the next hand. By the way, the antes are still 5,000, but the blinds are going up to 25 and 50,000. Action on Steven. Quick fold by him.
Well, Daniel out as well.
Now Doc Sands with a nothing hand folds this one. Joseph Cheong is going to call it with a 9-8. And Jim content to see a flop with a 10-7. We have 10-7 up against 9-8, and the flop comes up 9-8 ace.
What a nice flop for Joseph. He's flopped 2 pair here, but his opponent has flopped an open-end straight draw.
No raise before the flop, but Joseph going to bet 80,000 with the 2 pair.
Well, not slow playing it, and Jim with the open-end straight quickly makes the call. Now a 7 comes off, so this does make a possible straight out there. But Joseph with his 2 pair, he is going to fire.
175,000.
Well, Jim still has the open-end straight draw, but he now has a pair of 7s to go with it. So he is going to make the call. And the deuce of spade comes off. So all the pad hands hitting out there. First the straight, now the flush. But that doesn't slow Joseph Cheong down. He bets 300,000. He is hoping his opponent has got 2 aces and will pay him off.
Well, Jim did not get there. He's disappointed, and he's going to fold the hand. Beautifully done by Joseph Cheong. Just picking away the chip leader a little bit.
Winning today's event would be amazing because apparently I haven't final tabled the WPT event before. So why not win the super high roller instead?
Well, Joseph Cheong doing great in the high roller events lately. Finished 2nd in Australia, and he won one in the Philippines for $1.3 million. Having just said that, he's never made a final table on the World Poker Tour before. The guy's 26, and yet he has over $8 million in career winnings. Now that's really hard to do when you haven't made a final table on the World Poker Tour.
It's pretty incredible. He's a great player, no doubt. But back to this hand, David Sands now with King 3.
All in.
He's on the short stack, and he's going to push all in with it.
Wow, what a bold play here.
But Joseph behind him with a queen jack.
600?
695.
Call.
He's going to make the call.
Yes.
Well, Doc boldly turns up the king high, and it's good. Joseph Cheong making the call with the queen jack. You can't blame him. He's got the chip lead. In his mind, this is the toughest player at the table in Doc's hands. He could get rid of him and extend his chip lead. He'd love his chances to win this title.
Well, the flop comes up 7-5 deuce. That's good for Doc Sands. He's still out in front with king high.
Well, Doc recognizes that king high in the small blind is a favorite over a 2-card random hand. He moved all in. Now he's holding his breath.
Turns 5 of spades. Still good for Doc. So unless a queen or jack hits, Doc will double up. But if the queen or jack should hit, Doc Sands would have to say goodbye. But no, it's a 4 of clubs on the river.
Well, I think a nice all-in bet there by Doc Sands and a nice call by Joseph Cheong. There you see Doc's wife, Erica.
Nice hand.
She herself a terrific poker player.